Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So good afternoon. My name is Jithesh. I run the channels and alliances for Pure. So I think the whole day, a lot of discussions on AI and solutions around that. So today I will give you an update on what is enterprise data cloud, because everybody wants to build a data cloud so that you have all these high-end performing applications can work together. So let me give you okay. So all of you drive cars, right?
Yes.
I think I'm a good driver. How about you guys? No response. Huh?
I'm very good driver.
Okay. So we all think that I also think that I'm a good driver. But whenever we drive our car back to work, right, we feel that there is a difficulty, right, in case you are scared because the way the traffic is, and you might go and hit somebody, right? There is always a risk, right? The same is the risk when you look at old data centers, the old data centers which are driving. If you look at when you drive manually, driven data centers which are managed, right? It needs a lot of manual intervention today. If you look at, and complexities are so much. It's very similar to your cars, right? If you don't maintain those cars, it can break down any time while you go to the office or go for any other function and things like that. And similarly, if you don't maintain it, there is a chance of an accident. Very similar to the data centers. If you don't maintain them well, you get into cyber attacks, right? Which is the biggest thing happening. So this is what the manual data, legacy data storage is getting into trouble. Very similar to the way you are driving cars. And the legacy data stored is at a breaking point. If you look at, data are in silos. You have separate silos because years back you had an application, you bought a storage. After that, a new application came in, you bought a separate storage for it. So there are a lot of data silos which are available. And the operations have become complex now because of multiple systems, multiple operating systems, multiple applications. It has become complex. And what is adding more to that is the cyber resiliency, the cyber attacks which are happening, right? You need to build an architecture which has to be cyber resilient, because the current infrastructure, because the way you have put it up, it opens up a lot of risk for attacks. And the other thing is the escalating cost, because you have so many different applications, so many different types of operating systems, the escalating cost to maintain them. Over and above that, if you look at, the biggest risk is the forklift upgrades. Every 3 years, you need to do upgrade of that system. That is also adding to the cost. And the other thing is forced migration, because platforms keep changing, operating systems keep changing, you have to keep migrating the platform. And the other thing is, the costless thing is the software upgrades, which comes in. So having said that, the problem is getting more worse today. If you look at, in today's world, you have artificial intelligence which has come in, right? Everybody's talking about AI. That is adding to the complexity. You have cyber resiliency issues, cyber security requirements which are coming up. The other thing is the data growth has become exponential. What it was 5 years back or 10 years back, today it's growing exponential. That's another thing. And the time to market issues, I'm sure most of your team members in your divisions would come back saying that I need to have the application ready immediately because there is a time to launch. There are certain applications can work in a certain time frame because that is a time when the business happens the maximum, maybe during a festival season or whatever. So time to market is more important. The other thing is sustainability, cost to reduce the infrastructure, and has to be sustainable. All these are problems which are adding to the current old legacy systems which you have, right? When we talk about this, today being status quo, saying that I won't do anything to the current problem, is worsening. If you look at, this is not an option which you have. Today the cost of, average cost of a breach is about $5 million. Nobody comes up in the open, right? It is that expensive. And almost, if you look at, if you're implementing AI in your environment, 30% of the cost is going on implementing that. And over and above that, if you look at the current budgets which you have, almost 80% of that budget is spent to manage these outdated systems. So this is adding more complexity by saying that my applications are running live. I don't need to relook at my storage. Doesn't work. That's not an option today. Having said that, if you look at what is the automated future, right? We just talked about the car, right? Today, it's a world of autonomous cars. Now, the reason when you are driving an autonomous cars is a lot of applications, there are a lot of intelligent applications which are there, which tells you what is the distance you need to maintain between the other car and this car. If the car, I'm sure all the new cars which you drive gives you a beep, right? If somebody comes very close to the car. So you need to have intelligent systems which you can help you do that. And consistent operations, right? When to do maintenance, it has to give you an alert, what needs to be done next, if there is a software upgrade has to be done, right? Very similar to the cars which you use, you need to do that. And you should have an efficient system which can avoid collision, right? When you are driving, it can give you an alert that there's an accident which has happened so and so time. You need to drive, you need to reduce your speed. So it's very similar is the new data center which you need to look at. You need to have those feature functionalities which can help move this. And also, today I think maybe our children, when they go in for tomorrow, they won't need to buy cars, right? They will have options where I just need to use the car for a week. You should have a service option, right? Or as a service kind of option. Very similar, today's situation needs that as a service kind of model, right? So this is what the future is. When I say the future is today, you need to sit there in a driverless car. It has to function automatically. You don't even have to wear a seat belt, right? So that is where the whole new future is. That is what data management is about when you talk about an autonomous kind of system. This is the reason why you need to have an enterprise cloud. So when we talked about the enterprise cloud, I just took you through the journey of the legacy systems and why you need this architecture. Why you need an enterprise data cloud is primarily because you need to have a unified data plane where multiple applications can work in, your block workload should work in, your file workload should work in, your object workloads to work in. Now what has Pure done? What we've done is we've created an architecture which can help the modern workloads. I will explain that to you in a situation. We've created an architecture which can allow you to do virtualized cloud data, all your autonomous applications. It is built in cyber resiliency features so that you are protected from all the attacks. And the best part, it's scalable and also it is SLA driven, right? So you can sign an SLA of what you want. The SLA can be on capacity, can be on cyber resiliency, can be on multiple other parameters. We've got 10 plus parameters which are there available. So let's get into in-depth of how we do it. The basic building block of our platform is, it is built on an evergreen architecture. The name actually speaks aloud about what is evergreen architecture. That means there is absolutely no end of life for this platform. So that's interesting, right? So how do we are able to do it? Because we've created a future proof that you buy a system today, 3 years down the line, what happens, right? Technology keeps changing in, newer chips come in, newer processors come in, how do you do it? Here you buy a system that every 3 years we upgrade the system to the latest technology by just changing the controllers. So this is the evergreen platform that we're building. So there is no obsolescence of our technology. Once you go on Pure, it is there. We have customers since we were founded in 2009. Our first product came out in 2012, right? It's been about more than 12 years. There are customers, 97% of our controllers are still functioning, right? So that is where the beauty of our system is, because every system you buy it, customers who bought the systems in 2012 are still working on the latest systems that is available by just doing a controller upgrade, right? So this is half the stickiness of the platform which we built in by having this evergreen architecture. Let's talk about the next feature, which is a unified data plane. We've created a unified data plane so that you have scale up and the scale out model. The scale up model is primarily for your block and file architectures. So you can scale up, and also scale out models where if you have workloads like file and object where you need to scale out. It could be scaling up on performance, or it can be scaling out on capacity. Similarly, that way. So that is a kind of, and you have a consistent data performance which we can give out using this platform, whether it is file, block, or object. And the most important thing is the built-in protection which you have from a cyber resiliency, right? So this is how the advantages that you get with this kind of platform. You have the Evergreen platform, which is on which it is built up, and there is an unified data plane which can access any technologies which are available. Now, when we go and talk about the next one is an intelligent control plane. Now, this intelligent control planes allows you to control if there are multiple storage networks, a pure storage network which is there. You are able to manage all these systems through a single control plane. You can actually move data from one system to another system. If there is a workload issue on which is highly populated, you can actually move it back onto the less populated system. There are multiple ways you can track. You can have real-time observability and AI ops which can be functioning. And also it gives you predictable insights on the system, whether the system is working at it is picking up to 70% or 80% workload. You need to do an intervention here. It can give you all those information back to you on your screen. So this is how the intelligent control plane is built on. When we talk about the next thing is, it is also delivered as a service. Now this is the most important thing which I talked about, right? Today nobody wants to own an infrastructure, right? You want to use it as a service. If I need a capacity, say X amount of terabyte, I just need to get it like a build notion every month, every quarter, or maybe half yearly based on usage. If I commit to a particular capacity, I should get billed for that. And if I use over and above that, I should get billed a delta for that. So that's simple for use. So today you have built a technology that's available which can give you that kind of flexibility. So this is how our systems are built, and you can support any workloads. As I said, any workloads. Could be an enterprise workload, it could be an AI workload. You want to do virtualization, you want to run Kubernetes on this, because today world is moving towards Kubernetes, right? So you need to run Kubernetes kind of application. It'll support any workloads. Doesn't matter whether it's a database or a VMware or any workloads which are there, right? So this is how we built this enterprise data cloud. And it supports all business applications, whether it is all the one, I don't want to read that on the screen, right? So it supports all the applications which every customer today uses, whether it's an enterprise customer or any mid-market customer for that matter. So all the higher-end applications, it is very well integrated and works extremely smartly for these kind of applications. Now the reason why I'm able to do it is because, see, this slide speaks a lot, right? We've been on the leadership quadrant of Gartner for over 11 consecutive years, right? So we've been there. It is because of the kind of vision that we are able to give it to our customers, our market, right? That is the reason we've been on 11 consecutive years, we've been on the Gartner leadership quadrant. And having said that, I'm sure you would have read this. The biggest win which we had is Meta, right? But the entire hyperscaler runs on the pure infrastructure, right? The way they've taken it, they've used our technology to scale it up. The capacities are unimaginable, which is running on. And they are keeping on building this technology to scale up to the kind of needs which Meta is talking about. This information is available on the web, you can go through it, right? It gives you a full detailed idea on how the operating system was there, how are we supporting their AI, how is the all-flash that we're doing. They're using the latest disk capacities. Today we have DFMs about 150 terabyte available, one single DFM, direct flash module. We just launched, we had Pure Accelerator in Las Vegas about early this month, where our founder actually launched a 300 terabyte DFM. So just imagine if I put in those kind of drives in one shelf, how much petabytes of capacity I can give, plus keeping the footprint lower, power cooling consumption is the lowest here. So this is the kind of advantages that we have. I'm just giving you an example of Meta. Having said that, so much of customers are building their data clouds using our technology. So it is just a matter of that a partner sitting in this room can actually go ahead and talk to your customers and get them back on this cloud. So this is a very simple journey which you have, all complex workloads which customers have. This is the easiest solution that we have. You build frame by frame, and then you can solve customers' problem, right? So this is how the enterprise cloud looks at, and I just had only 15 minutes to deliver, okay? So this is where my last slide is. If there are any questions, I can take it.
I think you should invite Cisco also to join. How you jointly do that?
Okay.
Give the storage,
So-
the top of the give the AI.
Sure. I can invite my partner Cisco here. We have some joint offerings with Cisco. We call it where if customers want to do, it's called flash stack, right? So if customers want to do VDI-based applications, you have a validated design available from Pure, where Cisco and Pure jointly does that. So the compute comes from Cisco. Networking is again from Cisco. Virtualization could be any virtualization which is available. Could be VMware or any OpenStack virtualization available. The underlying storage is the flash array. The best part is you don't need to open multiple. Single tag case of Cisco can solve the Pure problem also. If there is a Pure ticket has to be raised, it can use the same tag case.